Hello, it's Tess Whitehurst, and today our topic is intuition versus fear, how to tell the difference. Because for those of us who are awakening to our intuitive gifts, and you who are watching, you have intuitive gifts, and believe me, we all do. All humans, I believe, do have intuitive gifts. But those of us who are drawn to metaphysical topics, definitely who are drawn to videos like this and books that I write, you are especially ready to activate your gifts, and they are probably already activated in many ways, and it's just a matter of learning to discern what is what. So sometimes we can get a feeling of fear, and then we can think this might be an intuitive hit, and it's hard to tell the difference. So I thought I would give you some tips on navigating the difference between intuition and fear. First of all, divine messages, and that's what we're tuning into when we're tuning into our intuition. Messages from the divine, from the part of us that's one with all that is, and the divine helpers that are constantly surrounding us and helping us. So divine messages are always accompanied with love and safety, not with feelings of fear. Now, it's not that simple though, because when you're also just a human being in the world, you have feelings of fear that come up that might get kind of mixed in there with the intuitive hits. But because, for one thing, our body knows a lot, and our body is giving us messages all the time, and often our body will give us a signal to avoid something. So for example, it could be that we're thinking, oh, should I go, to this party? And then we have this feeling in our gut, and then we're like, ooh, this, we can interpret that feeling as being fear, when really it's just our body just going, I don't think that's in alignment with us. So that's just our brain interpreting. So what you can do is just become mindful and go, oh, I'm feeling this feeling in my gut. That might be my body signaling me to avoid this place or whatever it might be. Or this food, Okay, then our minds did evolve to be aware of threats in our environment and to fear them. I mean, that there is a purpose for fear. It helps us to not get run over by cars, it helps us to do a lot to survive. So to just be aware, that's my human brain. My human brain is aware of threats and is afraid of them. And also our brains do get in habits. I mean, that we want to make sure that we're not in a habit of fear, because we can actually shift the chemistry of our brain to get into a habit of not fear, because our lives aren't as dangerous as our ancestors that from whom we descended, and they evolved to be aware of a lot of threats that were really present, and we don't really need to have that much fear anymore, but it's still in our field or in our kind of brain chemistry. So for us to kind of notice, I don't really need that right now, and just to shift into, oh yeah, I'm safe. And then it's easier to tap in when we're relaxed, when we remember that we're divinely guided and supported. We can just be in that kind of grounded space of safety. So it's easier to tell the difference between evolution, body messages, and divine messages. And then there's also this. So when we move out of our comfort zone, by definition, we feel uncomfortable. But if we stay in our comfort zone, we get bored and we don't realize our goals, So there's that. So it's important to notice that too. Is it your intuition telling you to avoid something? Or is it really your comfort zone kind of not wanting you to kind of put yourself out there and be vulnerable? Because we do have to experience vulnerability in order to take risks and in order to experience the life that we really, really want to experience. So that's another little thing we got to tell the difference between divine message or just kind of me trying to stay in my comfort zone. So the overriding way to begin, just awareness of these different factors at work in our mind, body, spirit is important, but also what's really important is meditation, mindfulness, and tuning into the divine regularly. So if you're not sure, is this fear or is this my intuition? You can just take a moment. Oh yeah, okay, taking a moment, breathing, coming into the present moment, tuning into the divine, calling on help from the divine in a way that feels powerful for me, remembering that I'm safe, remembering that I'm in the perfect place at the perfect time doing the perfect thing, and everything is perfectly unfolding. Now what is it? Is it me being afraid of moving out of my comfort zone, or is it actually an intuitive hit? I'm being lovingly signaled to avoid something. When we stay mindful, when we stay tuned in, when we make a habit of relaxing, breathing consciously, it's much easier to tell the difference. Also with the comfort zone thing, you can tap into, there is a rush of joy when we think of putting ourselves out there and then realizing what we really want to experience. So if it's a party, maybe it's us wanting to stay in our comfort zone that's signaling us to stay home, when really there is a little bit of joy when we think of meeting new people and connecting and being seen and known. So tuning into the joy can also help. And you can also do an oracle card reading. Any way that you can take a moment and just tune in, breathe, tune in, just try to kind of like sort it out, go within. And oracle card decks, if you have one, those can really help as well. And if you don't, you might check them out. You might check out mine, the Magic of Flowers Oracle deck. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it has been helpful. And tomorrow night, Tuesday night, we are doing an entire web chat for a half an hour on this exact topic at the Good Vibe Tribe. So you can check out the Good Vibe Tribe on my website, which is tesswhitehurst.com. Just click on the Good Vibe Tribe banner at the top. And thank you so much again for being here, and I will see you next week.